You never really see drive-in theaters anymore. They really are hidden relics. You never really see utter trash like science fiction double features either. B-movies where Dr. X builds a creature. Sea androids fighting Brad and Janet. Anne Francis stars in Forbidden Planet. A real late-night double feature picture show. Oh, whoa, whoa. Nah, but in all seriousness, with all of Hollywood's constant obsessions with remakes and reboots and diminishing returns of practical effects, you never really see so bad they're good movies anymore. Not to say most reboots aren't bad, they're just forgettably bad. No, I need to take a moment and revel in the wonders of cheap sci-fi schmuck. Whether it's Tarantula taking to the hills or a Triffid that shoot poison and kills. It's my job now to look back at the creepy futures presented by Sci-fi Dine-in's theater lineup. So grab your popcorn, line up in the back row, and roll it out by RKO. Because this is the late night double feature picture show on Sci-Fi Dine-in. Sci-Fi Dine-in opened on Commissary Lane in Walt Disney World's Hollywood Studios in 1991. Taking place in a Southern California drive-in circa 1965 by the release date of Frankenstein Meets the Space Monster, more on that later. The experience lasts on average between 50 minutes to an hour. The films in the original slate last around 46 minutes in length, which through the years had been reduced to about 44 minutes.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
One classic trope when it comes to old theaters in general is the theater bumpers. Cute little animations that advertise intermissions, snack bars, and upcoming attractions you could see while patroning there. Such as these bumpers that always play directly after the Sci-Fi Dine-in sign. They always include a few previews of coming attractions, a few little skits about aliens or cops enjoying snack bar food, drive-in housekeeping, and musical renditions of Great Balls of Fire of 61, The Blob of 58, Flying Purple People Eater of 58, Unchained Melody of 63, and Come Go With Me of 56. Clips of these and much more of these retro bumpers are included in the description if you would want to check them out. They're pretty nice. Another set of clips that you can find in this reel is News from the Future, a faux infomercial newsreel that presumably played before movies like credits. These bumpers were looking into the future from the 1950s, that, among other things, predicted humanity would be walking on a dead nuclear planet with touch-free remote controls, floating nurseries, presumably trying to raise tomorrow's youth into sociopaths, driving home in their space-age cars to cook in their pop-up kitchens, like Tomorrowland. But on to movies. We'll go in order of release date, putting our first film as Tex Avery's The Cat That Hated People. Released in 1948, we follow the story of a cartoon cat who hated people. He hated people so much, he rocketed off to the moon and found life was better on Earth once he was awarded with the sight of aliens. This was an MGM film, as Disney was granted the rights to use MGM properties in Hollywood studios in the earlier years, when it was called Disney's MGM Studios. But after a legal war ensuing, MGM items were slowly removed from the property. The Cat That Hated People was one of the last things to be removed, meaning this film is no longer in the circulation. 1953's Robot Monster by Astro Pictures. Given the distinction of Worst Picture Ever, a Cosmo ape with a diver's helmet called Roman was destroying all life on Earth except for 8 people immune to his death ray. He has to kill them all manually, and he certainly tries. But the ending is so poor, it was all a dream. I'm not even upset about spoiling that. Probably the worst thing about the film is this woman's face. Look at it. She looks like she wants that. Catwoman of the Moon. Released on September 3rd, 1953, again by Astro Pictures. It was only the first of the Sci-Fi Dine-in's Femme Fatale series, where they made cat girls They made cat girls on the moon. Ho ho ho, but these are no simple lunar cat girls. They're evil lunar cat girls with evil lunar beehives who can control women's minds. After their civilization is on their last breath, they want to steal a rocket to get to Earth and murder all the men. I wonder why their civilization died out in the first place. Devil Women from Mars, 1954. Released by the UK's British Lion Films. Another femme fatale movie about space women. The men of Mars are dying, so the women are coming here to tap up on their stock of men. It becomes up to one man to save the Earth, men's family juices from being juiced. Unlike the Catwomen, these ones are trying to keep their race from dying, so level up, I guess? It Conquered the World, 1956, by American International. A Venetian comes to Earth, convinces a scientist via radio to do his bidding on turning Earth into a hive mind, turning into a Faustian tale of caution. Originally, the film got an X rating by the UK, but I highly doubt that means what it means now. But back then, it apparently meant animal cruelty, among other things. This walking traffic cone is our alien, and strangely, this one isn't a leggy lady, but don't worry, that race of aliens isn't gone yet. Invasion of the Saucer Men, 1957. From American International. Off of first glance, I think I can tell you Morbo from Futurama was definitely based on this movie. After a pair of hot and steamy high schoolers commit extraterrestrial vehicular manslaughter, an opportunist decides to take the American way and profit off the corpse he found, until these aliens, who are also their own distilleries apparently, inject the already drunk man with more alcohol, killing him. Finding the dead man, the kids are charged with his death while the hand of the alien goes on a B-plot adventure that ends in an unlikely hero solving the problem from an unlikely source. This is honestly one of the better movies I actually found very entertaining, and so I won't spoil the ending because it's very good. The Amazing Colossal Man, 1957, of Malibu Productions. A plutonium bomb causes U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel Glenn Manning of Desert Rock, Nevada, to grow 8 to 10 feet a day. Now at 60 feet, he
don't want to grow anymore!
And sets out to do something. Damn the consequences. This was actually meant to cash in on the film Shrinking Man put out a year earlier. Disneyland's Mars and Beyond, put out in 1957, the robot Garco and Walt Disney discuss aliens for the TV show Walt Disney's Disneyland. We then go to see one of the most entertaining parts of this film, and look at arguably Disney's first feminist icon battling monstrous aliens, all while carrying Ward Kimball's famous comedic tone. And what our intrepid hero is doing? Sitting around while our girl is nuking aliens. If you can't tell, I really like this one. It's really cool. You should watch it. It's on Disney Plus, the full thing. Released November 15th, 1958. Missile to the Moon by Astro Projections was released with Frankenstein's Daughter as a double feature. In this film, two convicts are aboard a spaceship to the moon when a moon man hiding as a human is killed in a meteor storm, to the dismay of Leto, Queen of the Moon Girls. Again. There's also a giant spider and rockmen involved. This movie proves you just stick with what you know, and for everything else, throw it at a wall and use whatever sticks. Suddenly, gigantism is back with Attack of the 50-Foot Women, 1958 by Allied Artists. In this one, a wealthy woman is turned huge after an alien makes her, making her relationship with her husband even more strained than before. Attack of the 50-Foot Woman is a variation on 1950s science fiction films that featured size-changing humans, like The Amazing Colossal Man of 1957 and its sequel, War of the Colossal Beasts of 1958. Again, The Incredible Shrinking Man of 1957, in this case, a woman is substituted for a man as the film's protagonist. Let's make this one quick. The giant Gila monster from 1959 by McLennan Radio Pictures. It's literally Jaws, but a Mexican beaded lizard pretending to be a Gila monster. Yeah. 1959's Plan 9 from Outer Space by Valent Pictures, another worst film ever to exist. This one is aliens are coming and they're ready to raise our dead as a bioweapon in order to have leverage over us. After a small town is just completely destroyed and covered up by the government, the main character has to go to an alien ground zero, San Fernando, because none of these cities are ever duplicated in these movies. Then things happens, the heroes win, or do they? Dun dun dun! The end. MGM's Tom and Jerry in Mouse in Space welcomes up to the 60s in 1962. Though now officially out of circulation, I'm sure anyone who watched Cartoon Network from 2000 to 2015 at 1 p.m. could tell you, Jerry runs away to NASA and Tom ain't having it. And now, the movie Stephen King calls abysmal little wet fart of a film, recognized as another one of the worst films of all times, The Horror of Party Beach, 1964. But hey, 20th Century Fox, so Disney owns this one. After a ship dumps 55 gallons of toxic waste into an East Coast beach, the sludge infects human remains in a sunken ship, transforming it into a bloodthirsty sea monster. You know, biology. After killing a drunk woman, the town was at mercy of this creature, killing many, many people and becoming an even bigger nuisance. Last in the lineup of featured films, Frankenstein meets the Space Monster, 1955. Taking place in Puerto Rico, of all places, this film does not feature a mad doctor or his monster. The story follows a part human android named Frank, and after all of Mars's women died, rest in peace to the devil women, leaves only its princess. Suddenly, it's the women of Earth who are getting scooped up in this one. Frank goes wild and attacks Puerto Rico, while some pervy Martians kidnap the female cast of Beach Blanket Bingo for repopulation purposes. At the end, the mutant is also brought to Earth, named Mole, and fights Frank, and they both die. Strangely, this one is a lot less War of the Worlds and a lot more Mars came to Earth and ended up having a political meltdown without Earthican interference. These movies, and many others, more famous and forgotten, play as an intricate part of culture in the atomic age. This was an age when science became frightening. Earth existentialism became a bigger populist thought, thanks to events like Roswell and Area 51, whom, though everyone knew it existed, the US government denied it all the way to 2013. These films, past the hour, made costumes and cheap laser toys, commonly offered Faustian rhetorics and parables about society and the weight it holds, human fears of the unknown. Looking at TV, like Outer Limits, Beyond Step 1, and of course the popular even today's The Twilight Zone, all demonstrate Americans' fears, along with the ideas of the future brought to us by the space race. Everyone, even family man Walt Disney, was talking about the concept of aliens, and we still are to this day. These early science fiction films led to so many great science fiction stories across Disney. Star Wars, Alien Encounter, Lilo and Stitch, Meet the Robinsons, Ridley Scott's Alien series. Look outside of Disney. Star Trek, most teen novels written in the early 2000s. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Little Shop of Horrors, and absolutely nothing else. It's a semi-humid summer SoCal night, and the lot is full. To the left, an old hatchback, a dude with his arm around his gal, and to your right, a man bringing his family snacks from the snack bar before the movie starts. As a dry breeze flows into your car, the screen flickers a sign. Intermission ends in 1 minute. As the family's popcorn sense drifts into your car, you settle in deep into the crevice of your seat at the late night double feature picture show.